Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you guys my Prism Stride deck profile for the end of August 2015. This is a really fun deck, probably one of the most fun Bermuda decks that I've made at the moment that I am enjoying. Basically, it uses the old Prism deck along with the new support from Academy of Divas and along with the new Stride units we have to really utilize the effect of bouncing and calling Prism cards to the field to gain multiple effects. So let's go ahead and bring you guys the deck profile. I run 4 Prism Promise Princess Labrador. Her effect is once per turn you can choose a face down version of herself and flip it face up to choose 2 of your units, and then after that unit attacks or boosts you can return it to the hand, and that unit also gets plus 5,000. So you can return the units to your hand and it can protect them from being either killed off or locked depending on what your opponent's deck is. So along with really adding pressure, like using cards like the new Celtic, you can abuse Layette's effect, all with the bounce ability. So if you know something's going to be bounced, knowing that it's a guaranteed bounce can really help depending on what you want your plays to be for that turn. And I also run 2 Nectaria. Nectaria is just a pressure card when the attack hits. If you have a Prism Heart, you choose a card from your hand, you choose a card from your field, return it, and then choose a card from your hand and call it to rear, and it gets plus 5,000. So you're really pressuring for multiple attacks with this card, causing your opponent to, guard this card if they don't want to have to deal with more attacks. So it's a great card to use. And I also run 1 Fluffy Ribbon Somni. Pretty much the same card as Nectaria. Probably would run 3 Nectaria in this type of deck over her, pretty much because Nectaria provides plus 5,000, while this card's basically the same effect, just for plus 3,000. And I also run 1 Amoris. She is the one that returns 2 rear guards to hand when you stride, so allowing you to play off a bunch of different things because it does retain the Prism Heart, since the whole deck is Prism, meaning you can make a lot of different plays happen early on and not during the attack step. And then for grade 3s, I run 4 Prism Promise Labrador. Main grade 3 of the deck. There aren't too many Prism grade 3s, so you really gotta stick with one version for this deck. But basically her limit break is when she attacks, you can call 3 Prism cards to the field, and if you do, this card gets plus 10,000 in a critical until the end of the battle. Great pressure card each turn since it's very easily to return cards to your hand. And her other effect is you can counterblast 1 card with Prism and its card name to choose one of your rear guards with Prism and return it to your hand. So you can bounce them all back and reuse her ability multiple times each turn. And I also run 3 of the Break Ride Prism Image Vert. The Break Ride is basically you can return 2 units when you Break Ride and draw a card, and your Vanguard gets plus 10,000. So pretty standard, works great with Labrador, returns things so you don't have to use your own CB, and you draw a card, so you get back for the Break Ride. And for grade 2s, I run 4 Prism Promise Princess Celtic. She is probably my favorite grade 2, possibly favorite card out of the whole deck. She adds pressure. She's a Vanguard rearguard effect. Counterblast 1 card with Prism. When this attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other rear guards, return it to hand, and draw a card. So after you either attack or boost with that unit, you can bounce it back to your hand, get a draw, and if that card has a return effect, you can, abuse that ability. And I also run 4 Prism Romance Lumiere. She's the 12K of the deck. Pretty standard, just so you can have some pretty high columns, especially when you use Prism Princess Labrador's ability to give an additional plus 5,000. The columns she can hit with Yarmouk are pretty crazy. And I also run 3 Slaney. Slaney just helps because I run 8 crit in the deck, and Prisms don't have, a second crit of their own, so you can use Slaney if you accidentally damage the crits that are not Prism, because she's not subclan specific. And she's just a return effect, so you can get back cards to your hand if you need to readjust your column and field. And for grade 1s, I run 4 Prism Promise Princess Layette. Probably the best card to return with Celtic, because when she's returned, you can unflip a damage and soul charge 1, then choose another unit on the field. It gets plus 4,000. The only thing is you can't normal call her for the rest of the turn after you use this effect. So basically, during the attack, when this boosts Celtic, like let's say grade 2 ride, it's 16,000. After the attack hits, draw a card, return her. Unflip the damage, you just counterblast, and you can choose another rearguard that hasn't attacked yet, and it gets plus 4,000. Plus, the whole can't be normal called isn't that big a deal, because after you return her with Labrador, you can just, superior call her with Labrador's limit break. And I also run 4 perfect guards. I run Prism Duo Oriya just because the deck is Counterblast specific, so you want to run the Prism PG if need be. And I also run 3 Prism Duo Yarmouk. She is the one that gains plus 3,000 when another Bermuda is returned to your hand. So you can abuse her with the starter and Labrador's effect. So call something. And the starter, Koro. CB1, return that unit. Koro returns of its own skill, and this unit gets plus 6,000. So you can keep on doing that effect until she gets some pretty high numbers. And I also like doing it with Prism Princess, basically because after the units are returned, she'll get the power boost, and you can attack with 1 more unit after those 2 units have been returned. And I also run 3 of the Limit Break Enabler, Loretta, just, so you can have Labrador early game, same with the Break Ride. Great pressure early on if you ride first. And for grade 0s, I run Prism Smile Koro, the best starter to run when another Bermudas is returned to your hand from rear. You may return this unit to your hand. So like I said, you can just call her if need be, if you know something's going to be returned, to bounce her back so you can, get the big numbers on Yarmouk. And for triggers, I run 4 of the Prism Crit, Canary, 4 Florida. Like I said, Prisms don't have a second crit. I love running the 8 crit. It's great pressure with Labrador. And 4 of the Prism Heal, Timer. And 4 Adria, of the draw trigger. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Like I said, it's a really fun deck. I enjoy playing it. Lots of different moves you can do, so definitely recommend checking it out if you're looking to build a Bermuda deck. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia.